Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm gonna do something a little different and commentate over one of my games so I can tell you exactly what I was thinking in the games and, show how kind of like we set up the kill and what like led up to that. So yeah, I saw this as a suggestion down in the comments, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I started with a sheep on the shaman out of an invis stealth. I counterspelled the MD on the Shadow Priest, and we wanted to open Feral with that Hajj. The Feral does Trinket, and the Shaman gets feared. The MD goes off, so we're just hitting Feral. So right now I'm just trying to get up a little bit more damage. I got kicked in Frost, so I casted the Ebon Bolt, because Ebon Bolt, when you get kicked in Frost, you can still cast Ebon Bolt. Here it looks like I'm trying to sheep the Priest, play a little defensive. I popped Temp Shield because I got a little scared, had some bleeds on me. Maybe not the best Temp Shield right there, just getting some icicles by casting a bunch of Frostbolt, sheeping the Priest like 3 times in a row, and it looks like I want to try to sheep the Shaman here. I do get Hex, and we don't have a Hex to spell, so it looks like I'm going to sit this. I don't want to block it. My Priest has to disperse because they did a lot of damage there. I really want to try to sheep the Shaman soon so we can get some more damage on the Feral, but Shaman's playing really close to Pillar, and we're all taking a lot of damage, so I'm trying to play back and play a little bit defensive. So right here we're actually all taking a lot of damage, so I decided to sheep the Priest while we're on the Feral to kind of stop the damage. So sheep the Priest once, the Shaman silence, and we go ahead and maybe Hajj the Feral during that silence. So yeah, we do a Hajj silence combo, going for a big Glacial Spike, and we get a Feral wall, which isn't too bad. So we did a sheep on the Priest, a silence on the Shaman, and a Hajj on the Feral. That's that triple CC that you always want to kind of be looking for when you're playing your games, because you want to do triple CC into burst. You don't get stopped, you don't get kicked, you don't get sheared during your Glacial Spikes, okay? So I go ahead and sheep the Priest, quarter there. I'm just getting more damage here on this Feral. Trying to kind of line of sight, get a full sheep on the Shaman, and I end up getting it. I am looking to counterspell that Mass Dispel, so I counterspell the Mass Dispel, and I'm staying on the Feral. We got the second Feral wall, so that's really good. So the Feral has no more walls left, and we do get that Hajj. The Mass Dispel does come out, and my Priest gets a Fear. So the Feral is definitely hurting here, but he's running towards the Pillar, and there's not much I can do to stop him, because as a Mage, I have to cast all of my damage, and if the Feral's just running in circles around the Pillar, I can't really hit him. So we have to kill him in the stun, and since he lived the stun, he's probably not going to die. So here, just to stop the spread pressure during our downtime, I am sheeping the Priest once again. I'm hitting the Feral again. So if any of these setups went a little bit better, the Feral could have died 100-0 in the Hajj, the Pally stun, but we're just slowly working through their cooldowns right now. So I get another full sheep. I'm looking to counterspell that MD, and we actually decided to go Priest here because Feral just instantly runs behind the Pillar, and we didn't want to waste our whole go. So we hit the Priest, don't get too much. I dip really low right there, but the Pally does sack me, so that means I'm immune to damage. All the damage goes to the Pally instead with that ultimate sacrifice, and I am, don't need the block. So we're hitting the Priest because we're like, alright, screw it, the Feral's running too much, let's hit Priest, and then the Priest runs, so we're like, screw it, let's get back Feral. A lot of the times when you're playing God Comp, guys, you can't just stick to one target. You have to be versatile. You have to say what has no trinket, what's in a bad spot, etc. I just killed that Siphene. I did want to note, you have to spell steal the shield off of it if the Priest shields it, and then Ice Lance it, and it'll die. But if you don't spell steal it, you get a healing debuff, and it's really bad for your team. So you want to kill the Siphenes as soon as possible. Go ahead and Temp Shield there. It's kind of hard to Temp Shield against this team just because there's not too much burst. It all comes in bleeds and dots. Get a full sheep, re-sheep the Mass Dispel. I'm going to maybe go for one more. There it is. We get a triple Fears. It's looking really good, but our Hajj is already over, and like I said, the Feral can just run. We do get another wall, and we get a full silence afterwards, and this Feral just keeps running. He's getting really, really, really low. I have even a huge Glacial, but that Spirit Link does come out from the Shaman, as well as the Earth and Shield Totem. So this is actually a pretty good go. We got a lot of cooldowns. Still hitting the Feral. I think we might start switching up to Priest too if Feral's not going to die. He has no wall and no trinket, but look at him. He just keeps running and running and running. Full Hajj. How does he not... Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know the game was a little bit longer. I was like, how does he not die there? So the Shaman actually trinket dispels and keeps him alive. That's pretty crazy that the Feral lived. So that's the thing with going Ferals, is they just keep running, and if you don't kill them in the stun, they usually don't die. So look, we have a full sheep, the Feral's almost dead, but he just is running. I can't hit him without a stun because I'm a Mage. I have to cast my damage, and if the guy's just running, it's just not going to happen. So I have a big Glacial, and at this point I'm like, alright, screw it. Let's just hit Priest, because his Feral is at, has no cooldowns, and he's still just living because he's just running so much. One better executed Hajj with perfect burst, though, he would have died, just to note that. So if we did set it up better, then we could have actually gotten a kill on the Feral. But look, every time we hit the Feral, he leaps to the Pillar, every single time. So here, I'm thinking, alright, let's go Priest. Maybe I can get a Sheep Shaman. We got a Fear and a Hodge combo. We're hitting the Priest. We got Priest Trinket and Disperse. I'm like, wow, we got Trinket and Disperse in one setup. And I have a full Sheep. So, I mean, this Priest is not looking too bad. I'm taking a look at that Siphene, Spell Seal Siphene, and Ice Lance. So you want to kill the Siphene as soon as you can, because if you keep them up, like I said earlier, your team's going to take a lot of damage. Once again, building up Icicles for a big Glacial. Getting pretty low here. Might have to Ice Block, but I do have that Hand of Sacrifice from my Pally. I'm not taking any actual damage. My Pally's taking it all for me. So, I mean, they're all good targets, but they're all running. We got that triple Fear, which is beautiful. The Priest is no Disperse. We get him into a full Hodge, and we go ahead and get his Human Trinket. We get a full Sheep on the Shaman. Priest is going for a Massive Spell, but I go ahead and counterspell the MD, so he doesn't get that Massive Spell off. I'm still hitting the Feral. We get another Feral Wall, so it's almost like we get one cooldown, then the guy runs. We get another cooldown, the guy runs. And these guys are on the back foot the whole game, but they have gotten some of our defensive cooldowns as well. So we have to be really careful this game doesn't go too far into dampening, because they are advantaged with that spread pressure composition, since we're, you know, heavily relying on burst. So Shaman has his Trinket back now. Feral, I don't know. I think he might have one wall. Priest doesn't have too much. We get a silence on the Trinket there and the Shaman, but the Priest just doesn't look like he's gonna die. He's just catching tons of heals. But yeah, Shaman did Trinket the full poly into that full silence, and Priest barely lives there. So we're like, okay, every time we go Priest, we get cooldowns. So we're thinking, alright, I want to go Priest more. But Priest is right by the Shaman on the pillar, so like I said, you kind of have to hit whatever you can hit with this composition. If one guy runs too much, you have to switch it to the other guy. If the guy's running too much, you switch it back. The main thing is you want to keep up your DPS, because if your DPS goes low, then that's when you start falling behind and you'll never catch up. Shaman has no Trinket here. Oh yeah, so I go for a Sheep on the Priest. Shaman has no Trinket. We set up with a Hodge, get a huge Glacial, and boom, end it. So just like I said, if you see anything out of position without a Trinket, you can set it up. Sheep the Priest, Fear the Shaman, go off the Fear with a full Hodge, boom. 100 to 0 the Shaman, and I don't even think my Priest did very much damage to him at all. So there it is. And yeah, if we didn't get a kill soon, we were definitely hurting, because, I mean, as you can see here, they forced an Ice Block, and they're doing a lot of damage. So the more and more this game gets into dampening, the harder it gets. But yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of this style of video with the commentary over it, kind of, you know, casting about, you know, what I'm thinking during the game, and, you know, how we end up leading to the kill. As always, give it a thumbs up if you liked the video, give it a thumbs down if you didn't like the video, and leave in the comment section below what you guys want to see for next time. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!